Hi everyone, welcome back to Expat Experts. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm not interviewing another expat, but rather explaining a little bit my story. I'm planning to do a series of videos related, some of them with the topics that we treated in the latest episodes of Expat Experts as a podcast, but explaining my own perspective and my own experience as an expat. For those who doesn't know me, I'm Marc Alcubé, and I'm originally from a city 20 kilometers away from Barcelona. I spent my last years in Barcelona city, though, while I was working and studying there, university. But the last 7 years of my life, I've been living abroad, 4 years in Germany, 3 years in Greece. So that's the story that I want to share. I left Barcelona when I was 24. Um, and being completely honest with you, I wasn't this person that I am right now. So the journey has changed. Of course, I've aged also. It's 7 years of my life that changed me completely. Being living abroad and experiencing other cultures, other ways of doing, making new friends, losing friends, having the family away, far away, also make that I transform myself. No, there is also other barriers that I improved. I definitely improved my English when I left Barcelona back in the day. I was speaking English, but I was definitely not a native speaker, or uh, I'm not a native speaker now either. But at least I can defend myself and to a high level. Um, when I first moved to Germany, I didn't speak a single word of German, for example, and that was one of the first barriers that I encountered as an expat. I moved due to work, so that's one of the biggest things that I had to check in the checklist done before moving, and it's that I had a job opportunity that came up in Frankfurt, working for one of the big banks of Germany, and I moved there as a UX UI designer that I'm also currently working as this same position. But back in the day, it was a very good opportunity for me, both to live abroad, experience that opportunity, but also at the same time to do some curriculum, upgrade my skills, and becoming a better designer in general. And I'm very lucky, and I was very lucky that I was moving to a country due to the fact of having already a contract. I know a lot of expats who their biggest struggle is moving somewhere more because of need or because they want, but then finding a job there, it's very difficult. In my case, in Germany, I had that cover. So that wasn't one of my biggest struggles at the very first moment. Language, it was at some point. German, it's a complex language, especially coming from a Latin languages background. I speak Catalan, I speak Spanish, I speak English, as I already said, and I speak Italian at that point of time due to the fact of like learning languages. I will go deep in another video about learning languages and how I did it myself. But German was the big language change that I had. So it took me some time. First of all, because I started in a school where the system was not really working for me, but also because the first year that I was living abroad, I also needed to change my lifestyle and adapting to a new environment. Summarizing a little bit what happened in Frankfurt, it's that I worked there for 4 years. I switched a couple of companies, worked for major banks, but also currently working for the company that I'm currently working fully remote. I met my partner there, who is German, and that's what brought me to Greece. My partner is an archaeologist, and she had at that moment an opportunity to come to Greece. And luckily enough, at that point of time, I had the option of getting a fully remote position. So I start working from home. Although most of us at that point of time, we were working from home because it was pandemic and there was the COVID. So majority of the people were working from home. I kind of like after COVID never came back to work on an office, let's say like this. For me, coming, as I said, to Greece was an amazing moment. Um, it was difficult. It's difficult always to move when when you have a life already mounted, 4 years, meaning that I had, and I still have them, very good friends, very good relationships in Germany with people from all over the world, but also local Germans, people from Frankfurt. We had a nice apartment, rented apartment in Frankfurt. Um, but due to the opportunity of my partner, my girlfriend, we decided to move to Greece. And one of the most positive parts of it, of course, it's coming back to the Mediterranean lifestyle, where the people take things a little bit more calmer, where the value of your own time outside of work it's high, and that fit very well to me because that's what it felt a little bit like going back home. Um, when it comes to language, I think it comes again to a struggle. I switched from learning German to learning Greek, which is also a very complex language itself. It even has a complete different alphabet. So I'm there, etsike etsi, siga siga, as they say the Greeks. So slowly and speaking more or less, let's say like this. But I even had experiences here where I required to speak Greek fully. I had, for example, a knee injury and then a surgery, and none of the nurses were speaking English. So the night that I was hospitalized, I needed to defend myself a little bit in Greek. That's one of the funny stories that I had here, even though it was a challenge. I hope someday I can do a video about healthcare, being an expat also. But yeah, generically, the life here in Greece, it's something that I've been enjoying a lot. I've made new friends. We need build meet new people, build new relations. I come back to play futsal, which is indoor football. For those who doesn't know it, 5 versus 5. I started taking more seriously the podcast, also meeting new expats, interviewing new people. So yeah, for me, coming back to Greece has bring me a little bit of like new hobbies, new ways of or recovering from old hobbies that I had, and maybe having a also a more healthy lifestyle, but also like a little bit more relaxed and calm and take it easy life. Greece has been. On the other hand, also a challenge in certain things. The bureaucracy here, it's not easy. A lot of the people who consider or think about Greece thinks about the summer in the islands or the summer in Peloponnese, and Athens is a completely different thing. Athens is a very big city with its own problems, a lot of traffic, kind of a chaos that you need to embrace, especially if you come from Germany, from Switzerland, from countries where the structure is a little bit more present, and the streets are a little bit more clean and organized and everything. It's like, okay, don't cross the street in a red light and this kind of stuff, no. So you need to get used to this. One example of that, besides the red lights, for example, how people drives here. I have my own motorbike here, and I'm afraid of going back with how I'm driving right now, for example. But yeah, through the first months, you needed to have this perseverance and being learning what's happening around you, learning how the new environment that you are in works. And to be honest, it took some time, but after that, I must say that life in Athens, it's kind of cool. It has, of course, its problems as everywhere, but in general, if you have a lifestyle that you like, having your own shops, like your vegetable shops, your butcher, your place where you buy the paint or like the wood or whatever, or electronic things, feels sometimes more like a town than a city. Each neighborhood has its own things. So the whole concept of the squares, no, similar to what Italy also has in Spain, or the generic Mediterranean countries where everything happens around a square in each neighborhood. That's the lifestyle that we also have here, and it's it's a nice environment. I really recommend it to anyone who wants to spend some time in a Mediterranean country to consider Greece. I hope I can explain in more detail some of the topics that I already touched today. And of course, I will continue doing all the interviews that I'm doing with the podcast. So every 2 weeks, bi-weekly as always, there will be a longer format interview with another expat. So yeah, I hope you enjoy these videos. I will be uploading more the next weeks. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your own expat experiences in the comments below. And if you are new here, and please consider subscribing and for getting more content about expat life. And see you in the next video. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.